Boxing King Media, powered by the Riyadh season. Ben Shalom out here in Riyadh, stood on a grass embankment with a little Mexico City behind you. What do you make of it all?
It's amazing. Only arrived last night. Had a nightmare getting here, but happy to be here. Incredible, almost surreal fight week. You know, all the dream was for Chris was to get him to Bournemouth. You know, so the journey and the amount of nights that have led to this moment, the stadium, the Masternak, then the Richard Riakporhe fight. I mean, there's been so many, 6 or 7 big nights, and for it to culminate in a unification like this, it's historic. You know, it's something that is incredible, and delighted to be here. Thank you to His Excellency. Thank you to Riyadh season, because they made a very big fight happen on Saturday night.
Is Chris probably one of your best success stories, would you say, in your time as a promoter?
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone could have quite believed how far he's got. And that's credit to him. As a promoter, all you can do is provide the opportunities, provide the consistency, provide the fights, get the fights, deliver on promises that you can. You know, we built him really well in Bournemouth, but then to get on the world stage like we have, and to be in a fight like this, I think he was coming off when he signed for us, of the Tommy McCarthy back-to-back rematch, and sort of in and around that level, and then had a toe-to-toe which ages really well for Isaac Chamberlain in a really good fight down in Bournemouth. But what he's gone on to achieve, and the whole team, and Shane McGuigan and everyone involved, everyone at Boxer, very proud to be involved, because it's not often you pick up a fighter like that and are able to get to this point. And it was at a time where we had to find fighters from somewhere that could headline, and maybe other promoters didn't want, and free agents and whatnot, and for it to culminate in something like this is special. But it's not over. The dream is not over. The party isn't over. The journey's not over. He's going to do the business again on Saturday night. He's so calm and relaxed, and he's a world level fighter now. You know, he's a proven world level fighter, probably the most experienced guy in the cruiserweight division now, if you look at his resume. And yeah, Serdo's got a big test, a fantastic fighter, but we just don't know what Gullamari, and he was in there. We don't know. He's not proven yet for me in this division. I know he has dreams of going even further to the bridgerweight. I've been sorry to talk about the heavyweight division, but this is a big test, and Chris is a career cruiserweight, and yeah, it's special. As I say, surreal. It's real. It feels amazing to be here, but it is surreal because of where it started.
How hard a fight is it? Because the last 2 times he was a big underdog against the Coley and Riakporhe, he beat them both, and it wasn't a hard fight. Like, he was like the obvious winner, so to say, with respect. And how hard is this compared to them two? Is it a harder fight, would you say?
Look, at the time when he beat Lawrence Okoli, Lawrence was considered the hardest, most avoided cruiserweight in many senses. That style, people didn't fancy it, and so big for the weight, and he did it that night. Richard Riakporhe is a big puncher as well, did it then. It has to, you'd think it's a step up, it's a unification, but every time you think that, Chris steps up. And yeah, look, Zurdo Ramirez is a fantastic fighter. Only lost once to probably the, you know, pound for pound, one of the pound for pound greats, you know, after beating Canelo, and even better Biev. A lot of people, you now see Bibol going on and doing that, and you look back at Ramirez's career and it's been unbelievable, but I still don't think he's proven at this weight, and that's what makes this so interesting. And yeah, big test. You'd expect so at this level, unification, but Chris is ready. We've been preparing for this fight a long time before we actually made the fight. This was the fight that we wanted. This is the fight that Shane and the boys have planned for, and this is the fight that we're coming to win on Saturday night.
Wish you all the best here. Definitely it's a great fight. Any other fights you're looking forward to on this card?
I know Tevin Farmer well, so it's great to see him back in. I saw him get. I actually thought he won last time out. I think it's good to see Zepeda. I'm looking forward. He's the same division as Adam Azim, and it's interesting to see that. And look, it's going to be a great night. It's a Latino night. It's something different. It's great to be working with Golden Boy. But obviously we're here for the main event. And I think anyone at home in Britain will have their fingers crossed for Chris Billam-Smith, because he's a genuine guy, he's a gentleman, he's a true sort of example of what hard work can do in life. Like he had everything against him, and he's got to this stage, and I think he puts his name in the history books. It's more than that now. He's become a world champion. This is about doing something historic on Saturday night, and that's why we're here, and that's why I think the British fans will tune in.
Like I said to Shane the other day, if he wins, I hope he gets the plaudits when he goes back. I'm expecting like a royal welcome at Heathrow Airport, because Britain ain't got many unified world champions.
Yeah, it's big, but he deserves it. And yeah, as I say, massive night. Thank you to Turkey Al Sheikh, and huge week ahead.
Got to speak to you about a couple of other things in boxing, Ben.
Struggling to stand here.
Oh, yeah. So he's trying to run off just before I get to the hard question. I know. Well, I appreciate it. He's going to stood on the grass embankment here. Don't want you to fall off. It's good calf workout.
Yeah, it is. It's heavy. It's the most I've done in a while.
So Frank Warren's joined the DAZN. Yeah. I don't think many people saw it coming. What do you make of the move? And obviously Frank and Eddie joining forces with Golden Boy on the DAZN.
Look, I think it's good. I think the DAZN have been a massive force in boxing. Obviously involved in Saturday night as well, and massive force in boxing. Hugely committed to it. And look, I think it's great. I think at the end of the day, as a promoter, you want the broadcasters that are really invested in the sport, and the DAZN are really invested in the sport. And yeah, I think long may it continue.
Could we see Ben Shalom on the DAZN? Obviously, I don't know what the situation with Sky Sports, so I don't know if you could clarify that first.
Look, we're committed to Sky. I think actually we want the best of both worlds. The DAZN is great for boxing. Fights can be made. They're making fights happen. They're working with Riyadh Season, working with all these different promoters. But at the same time, British boxing needs big audiences as well. And I don't mean that DAZN don't get them, but we want fans that don't watch the sport every week, that might just happen to be watching the football. They need to get into the sport as well. I think they both work together. I think you've got to have different broadcasters in the sport. And look, we're working with DAZN on Saturday night. They've got the global rights. Obviously, Sky Sports now have the UK rights as well. Things like that will continue. But our broadcaster in the UK will be Sky Sports, and will continue to be Sky Sports.
Is there any update on potential future, like long-term deals? Obviously, I don't know when this current one runs out.
Look, we have been in discussion for a long time. I think we were disappointed with the amount of UK shows that we did this year, probably adjusting to Riyadh Season coming in, and Eubank was due to headline, Wardley Clark was due to headline, Ben Whittaker was, Josh Buatsi, you know, there's a lot of fighters. Obviously Chris Billam-Smith, this is still on Sky, but Riyadh Season backed, and we want to do more UK shows, and that's what we're planning for next year. And I think next year is going to be a very big one.
The December show, we've not seen any announcements. Any update on that?
Hopefully in the next 2 days. We've been waiting on that. I know the team are really working hard on it. It's just about to get over the line, I believe, and fingers crossed we announce something in the next couple of days before Christmas.
Is Tasha Jonas on that show? Because we've seen Joe Gallagher done a few interviews in the last few days, and he looks quite disappointed that she's not been out since January. So I don't know. Obviously, everyone's got a version of what the facts are. So can you give us yours?
Do you think we've done a good job with Tasha Jonas?
What do you mean in the sense of like what she's done in boxing? I'd say so, but obviously I can't comment on the inactivity.
Answer's phenomenal, and yeah, hopefully, as I said, hopefully he gets over the line in the next couple of days, and she will be part of that. I don't want to announce it before it announces itself.
I don't think anyone can question the job he done on Tasha, because obviously the situation she came from, you've made her a multi-weight world champion. I'm assuming a lot of money, but I think Joe's concern was the inactivity since January.
Look, at that level, when you get to that level, and you see it with the Katie Taylors of this world, and you see it with all the fighters, Savannah Marshalls, once you reach that level of purse expectation, world titles, you're at a point where it's only big fights. And for us, she had the headlines in Liverpool, or she's on pay-per-view shows, and so unfortunately it doesn't always land. But fortunately, yeah, I'm confident we have something before the end of the year.
Latest update on Conor Ben, apparently he's free to fight. Any update? Does that affect the Eubank situation?
Yeah, it's exciting. I think the fight will happen next now. I think we'll be looking at putting an offer over in the next couple of days. So excited. It's a huge fight. It's the biggest fight for me outside of AJ Fury, possibly the biggest fight that I've ever been able to put on. I'd say Khan Brook was up there, but this is absolutely enormous, and yeah, fingers crossed it gets over the line.
Has Chris given the instructions to make moves to make that fight next?
on the right terms, it will happen next. And I don't think it will be a hard fight to make. Both guys want it next. I think Chris has been very... He wanted the fight in the first place, but it was a bit more about the dads and the legacy, but now it's personal, and he's made that quite clear to me. And yeah, let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks.
Last question I've got for you. You're normally in the firing line from fighters, but Joe Cordina's had a bit of back and forth with Matchroom. What do you make of that situation? All parties have given their versions of the events.
Look, promoters and fighters always have their views, and to be honest, I don't like seeing it, but it does happen from time to time. So you're not going to get me jumping in and saying this and saying that. It is what it is, and I hope they can work it out. Joe Cordina is a fantastic fighter, and yeah, I'm sure it'll resolve itself.
Ben Shalom, thank you for your time.